Now it
then
said I'm going to have to enter a code for Instagram.
yeah, I don't. So we're live. Hey, everybody. I don't usually
Hey,
do this, but
everyone.
I am. Got my friend Hannah here from California, sunny California, and super excited to have you here, Hannah. And I always think about my funniest story about you, not you, but the clients that you referred me. And I was so thankful, so thankful that you referred them. But it's always one of those deals. Like I rarely have sold a house sight unseen. And so for any of my agents out there, what are y'all's thoughts on selling a house sight unseen? So this particular situation, cute Hannah from California calls me and she's got clients, personal friends that want to move to Wilmington because they have children that just had a grandbaby and they want to live near that grandbaby. And so I was super weird about the sight unseen. And I'd do all these videos inside the house, outside the house, of the neighborhood, of surrounding houses, of the road that runs behind the house. Like it just all of a sudden I went crazy in my head thinking all the things that could go wrong. And a month later, I am in Dana Point at an elite retreat event in October, and they lived about 45 minutes outside of there. And they drove to meet me. So the first time I met them was a month after they closed in California. So that's what I thought was super unusual. And I'm sure she told you, Hannah, about all my videos.
Oh, no, you have to tell. I'd love
I
to hear
was just
this.
like, I'm sure she'll tell you. Like, I was just like, okay. And behind the house, there's this. Like, I just was, I was just a little scared. I don't know, like, trusting me to buy a house sight unseen. But turns out they love the house. It's been several years now. And the reason why they picked that exact house was it was like 2 blocks from their grandchild. So not exactly walking distance, but close, very, very, very close. And it was about 4 blocks from me. So I knew the neighborhood was a great neighborhood and area. But that sight unseen still kind of freaks me out. Have you ever sold any houses sight unseen? Sight
I have,
unseen?
with military members, that this is a big thing where we
Uh,
just did the video tour. I actually did the inspection with the inspector. So I walked the house, explained through everything. And the client was just wonderful. They're like, yes, Hannah, send us the paperwork. Let's sign, let's close, done.
Fabulous.
And and a lot of this comes down to relationships,
Yes,
as we're
it
looking
does. And
forward to
building that
talking about
trust.
today. So very excited about this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are some of the relationships that you have built? I guess, gosh, when you talk about relationships, you could talk about all different types, right? Between your clients, between other um, real estate brokers, between your partners, as far as like your contractors, your painters, it's really endless.
Well, so let's use Ginny and David as an example, who
Okay,
are
let's
very
do
good
it.
friends of mine. We've been friends. So I've been in the real estate space for over a decade, and then another 8 years in the commercial contracting space in business development. And what I've discovered is even those relationships from early on have produced beautiful fruit. So in Jeannie and David's case, their first purchase was the home in Wilmington.
Mhm.
Then we sold the friend's house. Then another friend out of Texas sent a referral down there. Then they sold their house in California. This was all over a 3 to 5 year process to
Wow.
get them out to Wilmington. But Jennifer, this is not
And then they
unusual. It's
introduced
not
you and I
unusual
together.
for me. What's that?
And then they introduced us when you
And
referred
then they
me.
introduced us, right? So this is not an unusual way of approaching business, which is basically every interaction I am listening and just taking in this data about this person who's sitting next to me, or we're talking on the phone, taking in the data
Yeah.
and then realizing where the gap is and how I can really be a solution for whatever that might be. So that's why I love that I have my handyman on speed dial. I have referral partners on speed dial. It's so much fun. Like it's a very peaceful, joyous flow when you're working within relationships.
Yeah. Well, it is, you know what? And it's so much better than chasing those leads that you pay for where you don't know them and everybody in your area is chasing them. And I do some of that too. But it's this kind of warm transfer, we're gonna call it. between like me and you, right? Where you introduced me to Jeannie, now you and I become friends. Um, it's much easier than chasing those cold leads that you have to then build that relationship from ground up.
But funny you should say that because my very first client, so I started in real estate actually in Eastern Washington State.
Wow.
My very first client that walked in the door that we got to closing, his name was Elijah. And open house, he walks in the door and he says, Hannah, I need to sell my house. I'm getting married. I'm buying this new house. And same thing. Since then, over a decade, we have closed 7 together.
Wow.
But there again, it's that personal touch in that open house from day one where he knew, Hannah, to this day, you are my trusted real estate partner. That's what I would say to everyone listening. Become the trusted partner.
Yeah.
You're never going to struggle a day in your life because
What are
the
some
big
ways to
is
become
flowing.
that trusted? What are some things that you do that make you that trusted partner?
Well, a lot is listening more than you talk. Now, and you know this.
Sometimes.
I know that I love to talk. I love to tell my story. I love to drift down these rabbit trails. But what I found is, especially let's say in a networking environment, it's focusing on that person, pretending there's a spotlight beaming down on them. And I know you do this as well, Jennifer, where I'm asking them inquisitive questions about themselves. And instead of asking, what do you do for a living? I say, what is something cool that you're working on? And people just begin to share because the sharing, the touch of a human is so critical.
Yeah, I agree. And when I do I do a lot of conferences, and it's always interesting to me the agents that just come up and say, "Hey, I'm Jennifer Bullock. Send me your referrals to Wilmington, North Carolina." Because I don't remember those people. I mean, you have hundreds at every single conference that say the same thing. But the person that says, "Hey, can I share with you the one thing that I did really well this year? And I'd love to share that with you." So you're giving them something, right? Like, hey, I just did this new, like you were saying, you invited me to learn more about your tech and about your AI and becoming an AI agent. Something like that, like where you're giving something back and then really talking to them about what they did. What is the one thing that they did to turn around their business in that year? Anything, I think, just to have, you're right, shine that spotlight on them and have the conversation with them about them or something that you can offer them, rather than just saying, hey, give me your referral, because that offers zero value to anybody.
You're exactly right. And I think it's more than that. I think it's not even going in with a selling mindset, but just simply to say, where can I add value to your life?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're exactly right. And then really take a time to pay attention to them and not all the noise around you.
You're
Sometimes
exactly
that's hard
right.
for me because I'm super like squirrel, but I
Me too.
try.
All over the place.
Yes, I can do that
I
very
might
easily.
look all buttoned up, but I'm going to tell you, I'm the same way, right? It's so many moving parts. And that's what's been so powerful for me, Jennifer, is just doubling down on the relationships rather than getting distracted by all the noise.
Yeah, that's good. So then what kind of follow-up plan do you use for those relationships?
Oh, and I don't know if I lost audio or not, but
Oh,
making sure you can still hear
can you
me.
hear me? I can hear you. Can you not hear me?
I can. Perfect. Um, so the follow up with the relationships is what you asked me.
Yes, ma'am.
So the follow up with a relationship,
Oh, I don't hear you anymore. Oh, you muted yourself, I think.
it really comes down to let me know if you can still hear me.
I hear you now. Yes.
It comes down to a few things. One is Dan Fleischman taught me to do 3 gratitude texts every single morning
Okay.
to those 3 people that come top of mind. And this is as I'm getting out of bed, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm putting in my contact lenses, I'm thinking of those 3 people. Hey, Brian, thinking of you today. Hey, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you.
Aw.
Hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for taking care of Jeannie and David. And you've received these texts over the time. Hey, thank
Yeah.
you for taking care of Jeannie and David. I really appreciate you. There's no ask. There's nothing that we're doing other than touching base with those people. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to text back during the day and they're going to say, "Thank you, Hannah. That meant the world to me today."
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I think that, and I think handwritten notes. I do a lot of well, I say that. I've got a list of handwritten notes that I'm supposed to do this week. But I like getting handwritten notes too. That's, I think, very meaningful because nobody does it anymore.
Right. And with past clients, I love checking in on their anniversaries, their birthdays. If I hear they're running a 5K race, how did it go over there? Dropping something by their door,
Yeah.
cookies on their doorstep, all of those special touches to referral partners as well, to industry partners really makes a difference.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And then what else do you want to touch on about this art of relationships? What did I miss?
Ooh.
Talk to me.
Ooh. So I'm so thankful you asked. I would just say that it's also being in integrity. Like,
Yeah.
in other words, what I've seen from you and what I also do is I show up on social media authentically. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be the same person you meet in person as I am online. So that authenticity helps really build the bonds. And then because so much AI content is flooding social media,
Yes, it
that
is.
that personal touch, right? So all those personal interactions and just saying, "Hello, I'm a person and I'm doing good business and here's what I'm doing." Just staying top of mind. I didn't appreciate this when I first came into business, but I
Yeah.
have a real appreciation for it now.
With adding the social media in, is that the portion you're talking about?
Yeah, well, and also just being really thoughtful along the way,
Yeah.
and realizing that this industry, real estate, is about know, like, and trust.
Amen. That is true. Yes. And there's so many agents. You have to do something to stand out, and to build that trust is so important. And so many agents, but let's be clear, like 99% of them are terrible. So, to stand out in that top 1%, you have to build your trust, right?
And also,
And
so
build
it's
a
trust
relationship.
and skills.
Yeah, amen. That's true
Trust
too.
and skills is the big one. So, for example, now I'm in multiple spaces in the real estate space.
Yeah.
Oh, I love seeing the hellos across. I can't
Mhm.
see into my Instagram or my Facebook, but thank you so much for everyone who's jumping on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love just really being focused on relationships and skills.
Yeah. I agree. And I mean, I've been in real estate 19 years, but still honing in on those skills. I mean, I still practice my skills daily, whether it be scripts or my listing presentations or my marketing strategies. I always want to be the best and really on top of it. And I think you have to practice, like any job or any profession or any sport that you play. You have to continuously always practice.
Practice and evolve. that
Amen.
that's been the biggest learning, is not being stuck in one way of doing things.
That is true. That is very true. Sometimes that is hard to do. Just like with this new CRM that I'm getting, it has been stressful. I've been avoiding it since January, honestly, but it's happening this week. But because it's change, right? It's change and trying to learn new systems. And sometimes I get overwhelmed with it, but you have to do it because I also don't want to be, when I first got in real estate, there was an agent and she looked like she was 204 years old, and you could just kind of imagine what she would look like. And her business card, and I'm really not joking, was a phone with a cord, like a big phone with the cord attached to it. And she was like this, with like her beehive type hair or something, like something from the 50s. And I thought, please don't let me ever be aged like that. Like, like where you never change. Here it is at the time, like 2015, 2018, and she's still using that same business card with her phone with the cord on it. And you have to change, you have to evolve. You have to evolve every time and learn the technology and learn the AI and the all the new stuff that's out there. While keeping your feet planted and staying grounded and getting work done. So
Well, you're exactly right. So I've learned to actually say no more than I say yes.
yeah.
I'm always saying, No, 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 yes. And one of those things is with the AI is I don't have to know it all,
Yeah.
but I can do a program like the AI certified agent, which I completed in 2023. And now the advancement in AI
Yeah. It's
is
insane,
literally
isn't it?
separating the 99% from the 1%.
Yeah. Yeah. I've used a lot with AI. I mean, I'm starting to lean into Claude a little bit too, but I've done a lot with how they just changed with chat and with Gemini, and now I'm leaning into Claude. But yeah, it is amazing. The problem is I have found my problem, not the problem, my personal problem is now I kind of think I could do everything by using AI and I will go down the rabbit hole. And then next thing you know, I'll pop up like 24 hours later and I'm like, well, I'm a master at some random thing that I didn't know how to do, but I haven't worked real estate in 24 hours. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to not do that. I'm trying to still stay within my lane and do, AI is wonderful, wonderful, but also know that I was trying to build websites and build out landing pages and all that. Sometimes some things are just better to hire out because I do much better when I can focus on real estate than all the other stuff. But I'm trying to do it too, Hannah. Don't hear me. Don't hear what I'm not saying.
Well, and to give you perspective, just this last week with the AI certified agent, we launched a program called Halo. Okay, $99 a month. My website was built in 30 minutes. And it's gorgeous,
Yeah.
SD Homes by Hannah, and it came up just with the landing page and everything all set. And that so you the trade-off there is $99 a month. The benefit is now this is searchable by the AI SEO.
Yeah. Yeah. That GEO isn't the AI the GEO?
Yeah, it's actually called AEO.
Yeah. Yeah. I just heard that last week. But yeah, I am currently paying somebody else to do my website. I did. I was able, I was able to do it. It just still takes a long time because then I need to give it the content and I need to look at all these sources. Then I just have, we sell about 300 homes a year and I can't do everything selling that many homes. I mean, even with the help of AI, it does make my life easier, but, you know, I just have to be careful for me that I don't spread myself out because I love learning new things and I love technology and I love AI, but I also have to stay within my lane.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right.
Yes, but where the AI has really helped me out, talking about building relationships, is sometimes coming up with a plan, like you were saying, doing pop buys by somebody's house, like coming up like like a calendar plan of different ideas, different pop buys, different cute little sayings, different things that people might like, and so they're not exactly specialized. I think you were saying yours are more specialized, geared towards, but for me, I try to do about 20 a month. And they're not very specialized, but they are a sweet touch I usually do it based on what month it is. Like I think this month we're doing sunscreen.
Well, and did you know that June is actually National Homeowners Month?
I had no idea. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
So the
cool.
National Association of Realtors actually put out so I always like to go on to ChatGPT and say, what are the holidays that are coming up in June?
Ah,
And then gear
nice.
the marketing towards that and gear what
That's
I'm doing
great.
towards that. And the reach outs to say, you've been renting for all this time. Are you ready to buy a home? And those campaigns, I'm actually working and running them through Go High Level
Yeah, wow.
as
That's the CRM that you use.
the CRM that I use. So it takes a little bit on the front
Front
side
end.
to build that out and get it automated and going. But this was one of the best investments that I make just by
Wow.
investing in the tech, investing in someone who's going to build it out for me. And then off we go with different campaigns for different special holidays. And all these things, Jennifer, just become another touch.
That's right. Another
Another
way
touch.
to stay in front of them. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, and I get it to help me
Exactly.
build, the newsletters and things like that. But what are some other relationship so we've talked about like building that relationship and kind of staying in touch with them, um, and making them feel special by really putting that spotlight on them and asking engaging questions, and really leaning into them and how you can help them, either in their, professional life or personal life or whatever the situation may be. Um, but then how do you do that? I guess so. How would you do that with like consumers, like your painter and your home inspector and your, the people that you refer business to?
Well, and this is where AI is a
Oh,
helpful part
Deborah,
of this.
your brother. Sorry, her brother's birthday's in June.
I saw that there. I said, June birthday, Deborah, fantastic. I love that I can see your comments on the screen, and I'll go back to my comments. So everyone who's commenting on my page, thank you so much for being live with us. So when it comes to past clients and other people in my sphere, okay, you mentioned painters, handyman, haulers. Well, I do exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Which is, hey, when's your birthday? So I actually will call my handyman on his birthday or send him a note and say, hey, I appreciate all the work that you've done for us. That's the other thing. And then I'm always checking in with them to see how they are doing, how things are going on their side. Because, for example, my hauler said, Hannah, I'm getting a divorce. And I said, I'm so sorry. So sorry to hear you're getting a divorce. And if I can bring some value to that, maybe they need to find a new place to live. Maybe they're going to need to sell that home. And it's just, honestly, Jennifer, it comes back to the value proposition. So yes, my painter is doing a tremendous benefit to me by providing the services. And then I just want to say, hey, I really appreciate you. And 9 times out of 10, that makes a world of difference and just draws me closer. Right. And so that's why I can pick up and call my painter, call my handyman anytime, and they're going to respond.
That's right. No, that's good. So then in wrapping up, in conclusion, what are the 3 things that you would recommend? Like 3 most important things to build and withstand? I don't, what's the word I'm looking for? To build those relationships and then keep them years after years after years.
It's really going to come down to 3 things. Always coming from a place of value and service.
I love it.
From day one. Number 2 is then adding the value. So, for example, I work with investors. I'm working on some very big development projects. Those all come out of the relationship. So I'm adding value. And then the third thing I'm going to say is use the technology to track these different things.
Yeah.
And so I love to actually use my phone with like a voice memo, send a note to Carlos and tell him thank you. And especially after we've closed, right? So for example, I have access to funding and we're funding some very unique projects. Thank you so much, Carlos, for closing. And I'm just keeping that conversation going so that he knows that he can trust me as his real estate partner.
That's right. And I like that. I like that real estate partner too, because I think that you are a partner. Yeah. Right? It's kind of fun to keep that in mind too. Sometimes I forget that, like, hey, this is a partnership.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, you and I are an example, right? We're still friends after all these years. And then seeing Jeannie and David post their picture, look who we saw in Wilmington, and being really happy with the results.
Yeah.
That was the biggest blessing, is to see them move cross country and be just so happy. Oh, thank you, Hannah, for taking care of our San Diego house, getting that sold. And and by the way, we love Jennifer.
Yeah. Yeah. I went and had lunch with her the other day. Yeah. And I think they're gone now. Where are they? In Spain? She was going 3 weeks.
Portugal. So traveling the world, right? So then as I'm seeing them on that's another tip, that you can engage with people on Facebook. And it's not to sell them anything. It's not to sell them even on you, but it's just to say, oh, I see you were in Portugal. How was the food?
Yep, that's right.
And what
And
you're
I'm such
doing
a
there,
girl too,
Jennifer,
I'll
is
send a
you're
little
keeping them
hand
top of mind.
I'll send a little hand card, or if I see they posted something on Facebook, I might like if it's a cute picture or something, I'll print it out and send it to them. I was like, I saw this on Facebook. I thought you needed a hard copy of it, but they've loved it when I do things like that. So I kind of thought it might be creepy, but the fact I would print it out then mail it to them, but everybody thinks it's kind of cool. So it ended up being good.
You're exactly right. And then I would say relationships, put that on your consistent daily action plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do the 3 gratitude texts because you never know how those relationships are going to develop down the line. I just had an agent out of Los Angeles over the weekend say, Hannah, we haven't talked in 3 years. Can you take this referral? And I said, yes,
Yes, please and thank you.
please and thank you. And what was so fantastic about this particular scenario, Jennifer, is he delivered the keys to his condo before we even signed the agreement. He said,
Wow.
done. Thank you so much. And we already have first showings on Monday. So that's how quick. He contacted me on Saturday. We already have showings on Monday. And so a lot success loves speed, right? But it's also bringing value to my partners where he's saying, oh, thank you, Hannah. I'm so
Yes.
grateful for you. So that's the one thing is just to always recognize you don't do this business in a vacuum. You don't do it alone.
Amen. You can't. You wouldn't be able to build your business. It wouldn't be sustaining.
Right?
Well, good.
Without having great friends like you, Jennifer. Oh, thank you so much
Absolutely.
for bringing me on the show today.
I'm so glad that you came in. I've been asking you for a while, so I'm glad you finally did it. Thank you. And now I have to get you back on again because I want to learn more about the AI agent. Next time
It's
we go over being AI agent.
it's unpacking, right? It's unpacking this whole new topic. But isn't it interesting that the tech flows over into the relationships, flows over into everything we're doing? And
That's so
I'm
true.
just always waking up with an attitude of gratitude for the people in my life.
Amen. And I think what a great idea, because as important it is for you to send those affirmations and, for the people that you love and miss and trust, but sometimes those people really need to hear it. And you never know who you're going to say the right. For instance, I've had a rocky first quarter and I've just had a lot of things going on. And a friend of mine today sent a text and was like, hey, we're really thinking about you. And she's like, it just makes you feel good. And you never know when that person really needs it. So I think you should keep doing it, Hannah.
I think so because you don't know if someone is feeling down and then they see our video here on social media
That's right.
or that they just feel that. I think you can also feel someone's energy
Yeah. Amen. Oh, I
almost
agree.
across the camera, right? And sometimes it's just saying, hey, I know you're discouraged, I've been there.
That's right. No, I love it. You're right. I love it. Thank you for coming. We'll get you on another time to talk about Agent AI and how to do it and what that even looks like. And yeah, I can't wait.
I appreciate it. And I love you so much, Jennifer. That's the honest truth. I'm so grateful that you brought me on the show today. We'll talk
Yeah,
to
I'm
everybody
thankful for you
soon.
being on here and yeah, I love you too. Thank you. Bye, Hannah. You have a good evening. Well, it's not even evening there. You have a good afternoon.
It's only 2:30 in the afternoon, so
Yeah. Well, have a good one. I'm 5:30 and PM and I've got clients coming in here at 7:30. So I've got 2 listing appointments tomorrow. So I'm staying after hours to knock those out and wait for my clients to come in.
but what a great way to start a Monday by just having this conversation.
Right? I agree. I love your positivity. Thank you.
Or end a day, right?
That's it. Yeah, depending on what part of the country you live in, right? Well, thank you, Hannah. I really appreciate you. Bye.